This is the Shades of Green radio show, featuring the latest in technology, money-saving ideas, legislative updates, and all things green. The Shades of Green radio show is presented by the Green Alliance. Now here's your hosts, Paul Ira and Stan Hannell.
Good morning, this is Paul Ira on Shades of Green on KDWN 720 AM here in Las Vegas. Today we're going to talk robots. In the studio we have Curtis, Carter, Bella, and Jack. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Good morning.
So we got phone number for anybody that wants to call in, has questions for these young folks, and we've got some of the best and the brightest in the city here with us today. So our phone number is 702-257-5396. That's 702-257-KDWN. So let's start with Jack. Jack, where are you from? What school are you from?
I'm from LVA, Las Vegas Academy.
And where's that located?
Downtown Las Vegas, right next to Fremont Street.
Oh, great. So you're right in the city.
Right there.
And Curtis, Carter, and Bella, I see you all have Aces shirts on. Where are you guys from?
We're from Lake Mead Christian Academy in Henderson.
Wow, where's that located?
In Henderson?
On Lake Mead?
On Lake Mead.
Very good. These guys are real geography freaks.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
So we're going to start out and talk about how'd you guys get started in building robots, or why are you even interested in that? Tell us a little bit about that. Let's start with Curtis.
Well, I first started because, I felt pretty interested in the subject when my friend Carter came to me, and he's like, hey, you should join robotics. It's really fun. You have advancements in science, technology, and everything. So I thought about my future, saying that could be very well. So I went and joined robotics. It worked out.
How long you been in robotics?
It's my first year. We're a rookie team, so.
Okay, cool. And Carter?
I kind of came here from Orange County and started the team. So my parents are the head coaches of the team. And my job was pretty much to get people interested in joining robotics. So I got around 30 people in like a week's time. So basically they said, okay, fine, we'll coach it.
Oh, so you're like a recruiter.
Yeah.
The Marines are going to want to talk to you.
Yeah, definitely.
And Bella?
For me, I've always liked the idea of robotics, but it was never something that I took initiative and started. But since it came to the school, I thought this is my time to actually join.
And what kind of things do you folks learn in robotics that really is interesting to you? Is it something that you maybe didn't expect you might want to learn?
Well, I learned a lot about mechanics and building, because I'm on the build team, so I had a big part of building the robot. And I mean, I thought about doing it, but I never thought I'd actually do it, and I think it'd be fun. But it was really great.
So actually constructing the robots.
Yeah.
That's cool. Jack?
Not sure. You learn so much, it's hard to pinpoint exactly what you learn. For one, you learn how to build a robot, which is exciting. You also learn how to drive it, how to program it to move, how to develop a really good strategy that will help you just win the competition and do well in the things that you want to do well in.
So last week was the FIRST competition. Someone tell us what the acronym FIRST means.
For inspiration and recognition of science and technology.
That is inspiring. So tell us about the competition. Jack, you were at the competition, I assume, last week?
Yeah, I was there for most of it.
It's 2 days of fun and excitement?
Yeah, 2 days of fun and excitement, and then the third day is what's the word for it? I'm blanking.
Finals.
Yeah, finals, and that's the stressful day, especially when you're not there by accident. But it's a lot of fun to be there. It's interesting because you have to be there and look at all the other teams and figure out what your team is trying to do. And, a lot of it is on the fly with your strategy, just developing, what can we do to help other teams make us want to be with their alliance? And it's a lot of fun.
That's interesting. That's a good approach. And so you all competed last week?
Yeah.
And so
Yes.
we've got two teams here represented. You both had your own robots, and so you were in the competition. Tell us a little bit about the competition, what that looks like when, people are standing around watching you work. And
It's kind of intimidating sometimes, but I do like how the judges are all volunteers, and they make you kind of want to be there, and they're very excited about what you're doing because they're all volunteers. They had to actually like it to come back.
yeah, they want to be
They
there.
want to be there. That's so exciting.
So I understand the excitement level is pretty high in there during the competition, during the finals.
Definitely.
And do you have cheerleaders?
No.
No
Which-
cheerleaders?
There was one team
kind of
that
sport is this?
brought in cheerleaders. Do you guys?
Next year goals.
Yeah,
I think it was the Vikings team.
yeah, I think it was.
That
Yeah,
team's crazy anyways.
yeah, they're fun.
Vikings team? Well, they're Vikings. What do you expect?
Exactly.
Yeah, they're fun.
Okay, how has the robotics program grown over the last 15 years at your schools?
We're a rookie team, so there wasn't one last year.
Not a lot of growth over the last 15 years then.
A lot of growth.
And Jack?
Yeah, we're a rookie team as well. Started just this year.
So this is new for both of your schools.
Yes.
So how many schools do you know? How many schools in the Valley have this program?
More than half of the schools, I think,
Really?
for high schools. Yeah.
They're growing a lot
Yeah,
more
they're-
than they used to. A few years ago, the regionals were taken up by other states' teams. Now we have over half of them are Nevadan teams.
And weren't there 6 rookie teams this year at the regional? I believe.
Yes,
Yeah.
there were 6 rookies, which
Nice.
last year was 1.
Really?
Yeah, so they automatically were going to Houston no matter what.
So that's big growth right
Yeah,
there.
Yeah.
definitely.
All right, well, this is a great topic, and you guys are great speakers, so we're going to come right back after this break to Shades of Green on KDWN. We'll be right back. Good morning, and we're back on Shades of Green on KDWN, 720 AM in Las Vegas. I'm your host, Paul Ira, and we also have Stan Hannell in studio. We have 4 very bright young folks in the studio with us, Jack, Curtis, Carter, and Bella. And on the phone, we have Dawn and Haley. Can you hear us, Dawn and Haley?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Good morning. Did you have anything you'd like to add to our first segment there? Questions about maybe how the program has advanced?
No, I think they did a great job answering everything. Just amazing that both these rookie teams have gone so far.
Yeah, both of them have competed, and I understand you're both going to Houston later this month to compete.
Yeah, we very unexpectedly are going to Houston.
Very unexpectedly? Why? Come on, you got to have that.
Well, generally, rookie teams don't make it into the finals, and so for us, we were just trying to do the best we could, given, being a rookie team, and then all of a sudden we just kept moving to the next level of competition, and all of a sudden we're at finals, so...
Well, generally, rookie teams aren't from Las Vegas, right?
True.
Yeah.
Not
Can I get an oorah?
this year. There was a lot of rookie teams. But in general, no. And in general, the rookie teams don't kind of go as high in the qualification rounds.
Well, congratulations on that. How do you guys help each other's schools or other schools?
So one of the best things about specifically First Nevada, is everyone, even if you're competing against each other, everyone works together. So we built a lot of our robot at Cimarron. We chatted with actually the ACES team's coaches for ideas, and everyone's very sharing, and it's a really amazing community to see all these kids working together.
Bella, did you have something there?
Yeah, our mentor has also called in to First, and we've gotten a lot of different opportunities. We've helped a team, Equipo Academy, and also 988 Steel Phoenix, and a couple of other Brazilian teams, actually.
Nice. So you cooperate, even though you're competing, you cooperate with each other.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I believe next year, Philpott had talked to us. Philpott is our sponsor for our team. He had talked to us about mentoring one of the other teams, one of the new rookie teams that's coming in. I don't know if you want to confirm that, Trio, but
Yeah, that's part of the rules for one of the later awards, this Chairman's Award, and part of the attributes of winning that award is being a team player and helping rookie teams.
Well, I understand you guys have a term called gracious professionalism. Who wants to tell us what that's all about?
Gracious professionalism is when you have respect for all the other teams, yet you can still be very competitive against them. during the competition.
So you can compete with them, but don't bash them or anything like that.
Yeah, exactly.
No trash talking out there on the field. That's good. So what do you expect the World Championship competition in Houston to be like next month? You guys got to be pretty excited about that.
Oh, beyond excited. It's going to be mind-blowing because I've never gotten to go. Even my old team never got to go. So there's going to be, there's around like 400, I think, to 700 teams.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, so this times 12. There's like 40 teams here.
43.
It's going to be crazy.
Wow.
I'm super excited, and I'm also like really nervous because this is our first year, and we haven't done a whole lot in terms of like competing. Like we did the regionals, but that's our first and only competition, and now we're going straight to the big thing, and it's kind of I'm a little nervous.
Overnight success kind of thing.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. Well, I'm proud of you guys of, being rookies and making it all the way to Houston your first year. That's pretty exciting. To what do you attribute that? Why were you so successful?
A lot of it had to do with our sponsors. TimeAt was a very, very big piece to our team. They gave us a lot of titanium, which actually made our robot, because our robot's like 75% titanium, or anything we need to cut, they did it or welded it together.
Really?
Yeah.
So they do like laser cutting for you and that kind of thing?
Water jet.
Water jet.
Everything was water jet. And then our giant A we had at the competition was plasma cut. They didn't have any aluminum in store, so they bought like, $3,000 worth of it, cut it with the plasma cutter.
Really?
And their sponsor was there every day.
It's crazy.
Nice. And who's your sponsor?
Our sponsor is Mr. Philpott, which if it wasn't for him, we never would have gotten started at LVA. He put the first, what is it, $3,000, $5,000 into it for us to be able to just go to regionals, and from there we just started working on the robot, and we got help from a lot of the other teams. And one of our best things was our member Casey, who he's incredibly smart, but he basically programmed the robot pretty much almost on his own, and I attribute a lot of our success to him because he also drove the robot very well, and so he did very well during competition.
Good. So it's pretty important who your sponsors are, and your sponsors are active. So if we have any folks on listening that would like to be sponsors, you're welcome to find yourself a school and get started with First Nevada. So tell us about the intricate parts of building a robot. What are you doing hands-on to build robots? You're the builder here, right?
Yeah.
Curtis? And Curtis, by the way, these folks, Curtis is 15, Carter's 15, Bella's 16, and Jack is 17. So these are young folks with obviously bright futures. Go ahead, Curtis.
Well, it's like a lot. You have to be able to understand what you're doing first. So there's a lot of like the sponsors can help you a lot with it and the other teams. But you have to understand what you're going to be doing because it's really easy to mess up. You have like electrical that you have to put into the robot to make it in autonomous mode so it can be programmed into it, and even the teleop period so you can control the motors and everything. So it's a lot. It's
What
hard
is the
work.
autonomous mode?
Autonomous mode is basically pre-programmed, so kind of like AI for the robot, being able to do stuff on a set program that it has.
So artificial intelligence, so it's running on its own. Is it adaptive? Does it learn as it works?
Yeah, kind of.
It's pretty interesting. And what kind of programming language do they use?
Java.
Java?
Our team used Java as well, so
So you guys learn a lot about programming?
Yes.
Yes.
quite a
And
bit.
so tell me from an academic standpoint, what are the different things you're learning about that, would apply to STEM or STEAM as they call it?
It's like almost like physics. You take physics when you apply it. Using every year the game's different. You like last year you used balls and stuff like that. You had to get the right shot to actually make it into something pre-programmed. Stuff like that, you actually use all the stuff you use in a science classroom and apply it. So it helps you learn hands-on instead of just sitting in a desk taking a test.
So you got the math, you got the
Yes.
science, you got the physics. Different levels of math too, I'm sure. So you're dealing with vectors and
Yeah, stuff
All-
you actually use in the future.
all that math that you said, we'll never use this.
Yeah, you did.
So
that.
you're using it. How about other areas? You have to do a considerable amount of writing, I'm sure, too.
Oh,
so-
yes, because this year we wrote a business plan, safety manual, brochures, handouts for the judges, that type of stuff, which that actually helps you in the future because businesses do need that type of stuff to see, and all documented budgets and all that type of stuff.
Pretty exciting. All right. Well, thank you for all that input. This is Shades of Green, and we're going to be right back talking robots. And we're back on Shades of Green on KDWN 720 AM in Las Vegas. Today we're talking robots, and we got a lot of folks in the studio today. We've got some parents in here, Adam, Sarah, and Erica. Good morning.
Good morning.
So, Erica, tell us a little bit about being a parent of a robot student.
Well, it's a whole new world. It's since we're a rookie team this year, we didn't know what we were getting into, and it's been lots of long afternoons, weekends, a whole new vocabulary to learn for me
Yeah,
to understand what he's talking about, but it's exciting.
it is good. And talk to us.
Yeah,
about-
so for us, my wife and I, our son is Carter, and we were able to slowly kind of get this going at the beginning of the year, and all of a sudden had to put it in high gear. We ended up being the coaches just for lack of timing and trying to get too much of the faculty involved at our schools, so we ended up coaching the team. So it was-
Which means that you give 30 to 35 hours a week of your time. That's what that means.
Well, I'm glad you don't have day jobs, too, then,
Yeah.
right?
oh my gosh.
So that's good. Well, you've done a great job, both rookie teams going to winning now and going on into Houston. So how's that feel about getting ready to go to Houston?
I don't even know where to start. I mean, we've been working on flights and lodging and food and where we're going to get the money and
So logistics and financing is...
oh yeah, whole new world.
Yeah, it's definitely been a storm. Of course, we're happy to be our rookie year and actually win. But with that comes like a $30,000 little price tag.
30,000?
Yeah, roughly. We've got 26 people going with us at Lake Mead, and we just really didn't anticipate this.
Right, it's a quick turnaround from when you find out to when you go, so we're all like scrambling to figure out how this is happening.
Exactly. 3 weeks. You
Right.
think 3 weeks is a long time, and then here it is, and it's tomorrow, you know. So it's
Going to
tough.
happen. We still have Dawn and Haley on the phone, and Dawn's a coach, right?
Yeah, I am.
And how do you feel about going to Houston in a couple weeks?
45. Obviously, super excited, super proud of the team. A little bit hectic trying to find hotels and flights, and then also figuring out where we're going to get all the money to do it. So it's been a lot of sending emails, setting up GoFundMe accounts, things like that.
That's good. And so the logistics is a pretty big deal. How do you find sponsors? I would think that would be Carter's job.
How I find sponsors?
Yeah.
Those sort of sponsors are actually kind of tied to our school, and a lot of different people want to be involved in our school. One way they do that is going through our robotics program, like Copper State. They donated a lot of things to our robotics program, and they wanted to do stuff for the school. So their first way to get into the school was going through our robotics program.
So it sounds like you could use some more sponsors. How do you work through that?
For finding new sponsors, we kind of just go to companies that would think about donating. We went to a couple ones that didn't want to, but TimeEt was probably one of our best successes. They really did like us. They do want to do more for us.
And I try to teach the kids to find companies that maybe in the field of robotics, maybe use animation or something that has to do with robotics. That way they can relate, and people feel better giving to something that they can actually watch grow and can relate to.
So how could the community help you? If someone's out there listening, how can they help?
I think the biggest thing for all of us, that are going is, we really need the support with transportation. I mean, if it's a matter of, simple. Obviously, checks and donations are great. But even, gift cards, to the rookie teams especially. I mean, we're in way over our heads, so, I mean, we're going to be eating out a lot. So, I mean, some of those big restaurants, I mean, if people want to help us that way, that's always great. That's even better sometimes than carrying, cash or donations, right? So, but yeah, if they have ideas, if they have connections with hotels, especially for lodging, or even if they know somebody with big homes that we can, lease out for a week. I mean, stuff like that. I mean, I know LVA is, has about 10, 12 people going. So, I mean, that's a little easier for us. It's a little harder, 26 people going, find a bigger home. But, I mean, connections, I mean, if people have connections out there in Houston, especially in the downtown area or right around there within, half-hour drive, we're willing to talk to them. I think that would be a big help, from transportation to lodging, food, for sure.
And as parents, how do you see the excitement over education? I heard a metric that I was blown away by, that 100% of the students that go into FIRST Robotics graduate from high school. That's amazing. That's amazing. I mean, a program to do that alone is worth its weight in gold. So tell us how you feel about the academic side of this, having your children in these programs.
Well, I think one of the biggest things is they actually get to do it. They're not just reading a book or watching something about it. They're building these robots, and they have to solve the problem. So they have to work problem solving and then build it with their hands, and then see how it works. Program it with the computer, and then take what happened, go back and have to problem solve some more. How do we fix that? This didn't work. What didn't do what we thought it was going to do? So it gives them a whole different sort of education than, the typical read a book, take a test.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, we actually have quite a few kids that are in physics this year, and some of them are doing good, some are struggling, and it's really kind of funny. I keep bringing it up. I'm like, oh, guys, so this is all about physics. You should have been paying more attention, So it's kind of fun to bring that into it. For us, is be able to see the things that they've been learning in school and actually associate them. I mean, with the automation part, in general. I mean, the programming. I mean, these kids are learning Java script or whichever language, C++ they want. And having to program it, but they got to learn it first, So
exactly. You don't learn programming in physics, do you?
No, of course not.
That's a separate class.
Yeah.
And what other areas do you think are you're almost forced into learning about that you didn't expect to?
Business.
Yeah, the business side. Writing all the business plans, safety manuals, keeping that in check, and being able to communicate with other team members and not just other team members, other teams, because you have to think of strategies on the field as well. Communicate with other teams about what you want to do, what your robot's capable of doing, be able to get your points across.
Okay, so there's a big communications issue too.
Yes.
So what I'm trying to get at here is all the different academic sides of this. The robots are all fun and building them is all fun, but what people don't realize is behind the scenes, you're getting an education in business, grammar, communications, engineering, math. I'm sure there's artwork goes into this as well. So it's a great program to bring students in. And we've heard about students who were got into this program and just blossomed and became A students because it was so exciting. It was doing something that they could actually touch and build with themselves instead of reading a book, taking a test. And we're talking robots here on Shades of Green, KDWN, and we'll be right back. Good morning, and the word here on Shades of Green is robots. We're talking First Nevada, and we've got some very bright students in our studio today. Jack, Curtis, Carter, and Bella, good morning.
Good morning.
As well as Dawn and Haley are still on the phone. So Bella's going to tell us a little bit about this term, cooperation, and what's that all about, and how's that work in your program?
Cooperation means that teams can help and cooperate with each other as they compete against the other teams.
So how do they cooperate and help each other?
Well, we had people from 987 help us with our programming since our programmer wasn't there, but we're still competing against them.
So you had another team's programmer help you program. That is cooperative, competitive cooperation. That's good stuff. So tell us some more about when you're working with these teams. Are you seeing teams out there? Do you actually see these teams, or do you not meet them until you get to the competition?
You can go around and you can check out teams. Like, we've gone to Cimarron High School. We met their team, so we know them pretty well. And also we've helped another team at Kipo Academy, like I mentioned earlier, and we know them along with 988. And if you want to get to know people, you can. But we mostly just meet people from out of state at competition.
So do you have big gatherings of all the teams getting together to work on, the whole First Nevada approach?
We only had one of those, which is at the kickoff. There was one at UNLV. They actually put it on when they actually released the video, and most of the rookies were there. And the rookies were actually able to use the UNLV machine shop and build their chassis, their kit chassis that they got.
Nice. And so tell me, where you youngsters want to go with this robotic education you're getting? What's your future look like? Is this going to apply, or are you going to all become doctors?
I have a dream to actually start a nonprofit here in Las Vegas.
Okay, doing what?
Getting homeless people off the street and applying them and putting them back into education or engineering goals, and putting them into companies that would like to have new people and new volunteers and eventually employees.
Okay. Was that your dog? and Curtis, tell us a little bit about where your future, where are you going? Is this going to help you with your career path? Do you know yet?
I'm not 100% sure, but I wasn't really thinking that it would. But now that I'm here, I mean, the mechanical side, it's really fun, and I feel like I might do that for a future. It's
like mechanical engineering, or you want to work on cars?
Either one.
Either one. They're kind of diametrically opposed almost. And Jack?
I've thought about this for a while, and I want to go into computer science as a major. And that's something I've wanted to do for a while, is just like computers and programming. But it's kind of funny because a lot of people don't expect that from someone who goes to LVA, because it's an art school. And it's pretty interesting. But I am still doing music as a side thing, and it'll be a lot of fun.
You're a musician too. Can you get robots to play music?
Could, yeah.
There you
program
go.
that.
There's a future for you.
Yeah.
I just had a thought there and I lost it. I hate that. So as you move forward, are you planning on staying in this for your whole career in high school?
Yes.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And promoting this to the younger students too, and bringing them up to speed?
Yeah,
Yeah,
this year we
definitely.
actually had a few middle schoolers that were not technically on the team, but they were there, so they actually can get some information and know how to build this type of stuff. So that now they have more experience when they're actually in the program. They can be as smart as the people that were already in it.
Because it's offered at all levels, right?
Oh yeah.
So you could go down and mentor in an elementary school.
Yeah, because
Or middle school.
yeah, next year our goal is to start an FLL team over the summer, because that's our off season. FRC's off season, we actually have FLL.
What's
So we're gonna-
FLL?
It's First Lego League.
Oh, okay.
So we're gonna start that,
Okay.
and then FRC, all our members here are gonna actually be able to help and mentor.
Cool.
So it'll be very exciting.
And what do they do in the first Lego League? Is it like pre-robotic, building robots out of Legos?
Pretty much, it's all autonomous though. Basic programming using blocks.
So they're actually mobile robots made out
Yeah.
of Legos.
It's pretty exciting
Yeah,
for little kids.
I did it in my middle school years, and it was a lot of fun. For reference, we used the Mindstorm, the Lego Mindstorm, and you would just have it programmed to do simple things, but the competition always changed every year because you weren't doing the same thing, and things would be similar, but you'd still have to, program it differently and build the robot different, and it's a lot of fun.
What was the theme this year?
For FLO?
Yeah. I mean, for FRC.
Oh, FRC, this is what was it?
Power up.
Power Up.
Power
Yeah,
Up,
Power
yeah.
Up.
Power Up. What's that about?
So this year, it's kind of the theme, like this year was defeat the boss. So basically, this year we had to do a lot of different cubes. All the different items this year were basically very simple, all using cubes. You had to fill a vault with cubes. You had to put stuff on the switch with cubes. And
this year we had to kind of do timed was a very, very big crucial part, because last year it was get all the tasks done. This year it's control it for longer times, because you get 1 point per second. It's crazy.
Interesting. So tell us a little more. What's that competition look like when it's actually happening then? What are the students doing to control these robots?
There are drivers that use there are many different controllers that you can use. Our team we used Xbox controllers, but there are joysticks that people can use. But you're just mainly using those you control the operations and the driving, so using the wheels. And we had I don't know what to call it, but we sucked in cubes with an intake with wheels, and that we use an elevator system to pull it up. So all the operations and everything on it we used with Xbox controllers. We programmed it to work inside the controllers.
How big are these cubes?
They're
Milk cartons,
they're
yeah.
milk cartons.
Milk cartons?
Yeah.
Like the
So they're
milk
big.
box. Yeah.
How
Yeah.
big is a robot?
Really big.
Big.
What's the dimensions?
The dimensions, it could be 28 inches wide by 32 inches long and 55 inches tall.
So these things are as big as you are.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Interesting. I thought that, like little robots going. So these are big things with big motors on them and tracks and wheels and arms and
Yeah.
levers and whirring and spinning.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. And so you designed them from nothing. And
Yep.
Yep.
every one of them looks different, I assume.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
That's what's cool about competition. You get to see different views on people's ideas of the game. And then you can see who wins, obviously, from the simplest design or the most complex design.
So if people want to get involved, you got a website or something they can look at?
For us, for LMCA, you just look on our page. It's on LMCA's page.
LMCA.org.
Facebook page
Yeah, Facebook page. Yeah, we have a Facebook account, Aces Robotics.
and lmc.org.
Yeah.
Okay. And for you?
I'm not sure because I specifically don't do that. But if Trujillo's on call, I'm pretty sure she knows.
Okay, well, I just want to announce that Greenfest is coming up April 21st from 9 to 5, and you can go to greenfestlv.com for information on that. It's a great time. We've got a lot of fun for the kids out there, music, food, and, of course, a beer garden. So tune in next week to Shades of Green. Have a great week out there, and keep it green. I'm your host, Paul Ira. We're out of here.